Part 2. Crimson Flower. Ethereal Moon. Beyond Escape. It is Imperial Year 1185. Half a decade has passed since Emperor Edelgard ascended the Imperial throne, yet the continent of Fodlan still remains lost in a tempest of turmoil and bloodshed. In the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, King Dimitri has welcomed Archbishop Rhea and her knights, who were driven out of Garreg to the kingdom capital. As they work to build a unified front, the war with the Empire rages on to the west. Meanwhile, Claude, leader of the Alliance, staves off Imperial intervention by strategically stirring up conflicts between Lesser Lords in an effort to feign neutrality. As events unfold, Edelgard and her Black Eagle strike force begin to take action in an attempt to break the war's current state of deadlock.
You. How long do you intend to sleep? Your body is awake. Your eyes must open now, and you must find the strength to stand upon those legs of yours. Like so much rain, a pool of blood has fallen to the ground. As spears and arrows pierce the earth, it weeps. And even now, it weeps. In order to survive, they kill. And so the people of this world are lost in an abyss of suffering. They weep as well. The only one who truly knows the nature of such things is I. Or rather, you. You are a complete and utter fool! Have you not changed one bit? Get on your feet. Right now! I'll coddle you no more! You are just like a child, always needing me to hold your hand.
Hey, are you awake? We're in a village at the base of the monastery. What are you doing in a place like this? I honestly didn't expect to find someone floating away down the river.
Garreg is upstream of here, but that place was abandoned.
Huh? You don't know? The Church of Saros isn't there anymore. Though, there have been some folks still living there in the 5 years since... well, you know. Regardless, the Imperial Army has taken over now. Are you feeling alright? You didn't hit your head or anything, did you? It's the ethereal moon of the year 1185. It's been nearly 5 years since the monastery fell. Tomorrow was supposed to be the Millennium Festival, but who's got time to think about things like that? Yeah, that's what I said. But with the war and the Archbishop still missing it all, I doubt there's a soul to be found who has enough blessings worth counting. Hey, slow down, will ya? Where do you think you're going? Are you crazy? The Imperial Army is there. Come on, I promise I won't say you're a coward. Just forget about going anywhere near the monastery. You just remember I tried to stop you, got it? It's not on my conscience if you wind up dead. Students? You really are crazy, aren't you? There aren't any kids anywhere near that place anymore. Unbelievable.
5 years ago to the day. If things had continued on as they were, today would have been the Millennium Festival. Halt! Who's there? It can't be. Professor? Is it really you? But I searched everywhere and never found a trace. My teacher. What have you been doing all this time? Where have you been? Joking? At a time like this? You do realize it's been 5 years since you disappeared. Do you have any idea how guilty I felt? How broken my heart was? I searched high and low after you vanished. Although there was no proof, I somehow knew you were alive. All this time, I led everyone as best I could, and fought with all my heart. It's been a difficult path to walk alone. Welcome back, my teacher. I'm so happy that you're safe. 5 years. Such a short time, but it feels like an eternity ago. Do you still feel the way you did all those years ago? You said then that you would fight at my side no matter how many enemies we should amass. As for me, my resolve has not faltered. I'm determined as ever to see this through to the end. I will defeat the false goddess. I will save this world from those creatures and give humanity its freedom back. So, my teacher, are you prepared to stand with me? I thank you. Truly. Now then, I assume you understand the situation at hand, yes? Another joke? Or are you telling the truth? I suppose you must be. In that case, I'll tell you all that has transpired as you slumbered these past 5 years. And that is where we are now. The war is at a stalemate. Dimitri is the new king of Fargus. It's clear that his territory will continue to support the church. Meanwhile, Claude's leadership has thrown the Alliance into chaos. He maintains neutrality in their internal conflict. The situation has created a deadlock. We've been awaiting an opportunity for our squadron to return to the monastery. With you in the fray, I believe the state of the war will shift immediately. The church, as well as the kingdom and the Alliance. The time has come to eliminate them all. Although we were of different houses, we were companions who lived and learned together. Some of our ranks are hesitant to battle against them, and against the people of their homelands. However, knowing that you're alive is sure to raise their spirits. Good. Well then, I believe it's time for a little reunion. The Black Eagle Strike Force never lost faith. They knew you were alive and have been awaiting your return. Let's not keep them waiting any longer.
Well now, that face is certainly familiar. I am glad to see you alive and well, Professor.
Professor! It's me, Bernie! Do you remember me? I can't believe you're here!
I can't believe it! Is this a dream? Can we really be this lucky?
This is not dreaming. Our professor is with us again. Welcome to the back. I mean, welcome back.
Our group isn't the same without you. I am overjoyed to see you again.
It's been so long. Seeing you again fills my heart with hope.
Great! Now everything will be easy. That's great you're safe, Professor. I'm deeply, deeply moved.
Quite the reunion, isn't it, Professor? Everyone's happy to see you.
Come on, Edelgard. You must be happier than all of us combined. She took it really hard when you disappeared, Professor.
Of course, we did our very best in your absence. And there was never a day that we doubted you would return to us.
Edelgard has been leading us as Emperor. But after you disappeared, it became apparent that you were her anchor. It gives me regret to be admitting this, but our power is not enough. The only one who can be meeting Edelgard's expectations is you, Professor.
Most impressive of all is your uncanny ability to bring a smile to everyone's face.
In the years since you vanished, we have not lost anyone from our ranks.
We all longed for your presence and your leadership, myself included.
It seems fitting to view this as a new beginning for the Black Eagle Strike Force. We already have our target.
Yes, we must eliminate the Alliance before moving on to fight the Kingdom and the Church. However, that doesn't necessarily mean we must occupy the entirety of the Alliance. House Rican stands against the Empire. Therefore, our target is Deirdre, the aquatic capital.
We must cross the Aramid River, which separates the Empire and the Alliance. To do that, we must take the largest bridge across it. The Great Bridge of Myrden. Myrden connects the monastery and the Imperial capital to the east. It is the shortest route there.
An Alliance stronghold has been built at the Great Bridge. We'll take that and then head north. At the same time, we must defeat the one who defends it, Judith von Daphne. If we can also take control of Daphne territory, it would be greatly beneficial to us. Prepare yourselves. The next battle will be a momentous one. Join me, my friends, as we begin our journey to bring peace and solace to this war-ravaged world.
Take that! Yes, I am in a hurry. Edelgard claims victory after victory. She never stops. 5 years ago, she ascended the throne and swept away the corrupt nobles, my father included. I always thought I would be the one to unseat him. But she did it instead, with all the ease and indifference of someone cracking an egg. Now, as the head of House Eyre, I serve Edelgard. I have to accept that I am her subordinate, working beneath her to reunify Fodlan. The disparity between Edelgard and myself is obvious. She never stops moving forward, single-minded, never wavering. But where does that leave me? Here, flailing about, going nowhere, contributing nothing. But it is. That is the reality. Not once since our days at the Academy have I exceeded Edelgard's abilities. I saw her as a worthy opponent. She did not even see me as a contender. She did not even consider me at all. As the head of the noble House Eyre, I must be able to achieve results. But all my efforts have come to nothing. Results are everything. I have not shown results, so I will be stagnating here forever. I appreciate that, but it is not enough to persuade me. I know that I have a massive wall to climb, and I must climb it alone. Even so, may I ask a favor? Professor, please keep an eye on my progress. I would appreciate if you were always by my side, bearing witness to my accomplishments.
This is no good. Sing from your diaphragm. Law. Get it? Law.
They won't notice if one person doesn't sing, will they?
Linhard, at least try to do some training. Use a staff, or a rod, or a broom for all I care.
My apologies, but I cannot train right now. I have plans for later and don't wish to tire myself. Caspar invited me to train with him, you see.
You slept through the whole debate, didn't you? Fine. I'll summarize it for you.
Not the whole debate. I closed my eyes only after I knew what reading would cover the topic.
There you are. Don't tell me you were sneaking out to do some training.
Of course not. I was sneaking out to avoid you. How did you find me this time?
A mere coincidence. Why would you wish to hide from me?
Because you're an awful nuisance? Why do you pester me so?
To ensure that your talent is not wasted due to your lack of...
It's none of your business how I spend my time or how I use my talent. Have you assumed the role of my mother? You overplay the part. She was only half as overbearing.
What is the matter with you? As Emperor, I'm trying to prevent you from making a mockery of the Black Eagle Strike Force.
Fine, I'll try harder. Really. I'm sure you see all this as my interfering with your duty as a leader. Have you considered how it feels for those of us who serve below you? You are a serious pain, you know.
How so?
But you're like a mother who insists on accompanying her son to his own knighting ceremony.
That's taking it a bit far, don't you think?
No, I'd say that it's putting it lightly. All your interfering is greatly hindering my research.
I see. Very well. You've made your perspective perfectly clear.
Even with the fires of war raging all around us, tea never fails to soothe the soul. Do you not agree, Bernadetta?
I hadn't actually thought about it, but yes.
Excellent. Oh, that reminds me.
What's that?
A long time ago, my parents were in talks to arrange my marriage with a certain young lady. She never set foot outside of her room, and she made little dolls to curse her perceived enemies. Such were the rumors. Frightened, I dissuaded my parents from going through with their plans.
I can see that. She does sound pretty frightening. I relate to the staying in the room part, though.
That girl was you, Bernadetta, a daughter of House Varley.
What? I don't make dolls to curse people.
You are a skilled embroiderer, no? I guess I was wrong. You are not making dolls.
I did make dolls, but cute ones. Nice little carnivorous plants and things.
Maybe I should not have brought this up.
Why not? Carnivorous plants are adorable.
Yes, adorable. Anyway, if I had actually known you, I would have accepted the proposal.
Why? Did you have some scheme in mind?
No, I just mean, now that I have gotten to know you, I would have been happy to...
So, you're saying you'd... with me? It's getting kinda hot in here, isn't it? Maybe it's the tea.
Why are you getting so worked up? That was all a long time ago now.
A long time ago?
Yes. Now we are soldiers fighting together in the same great conflict, right? And my parents are gone. So any agreements they might have cooked up would be completely invalid.
I guess so.
Just think, if we had been married, we would not have been able to build such a deep friendship.
That's true. Yeah, we never would have gotten this close. I would have given up on the relationship my parents chose for me and shut myself away even more.
So all in all, I am glad I refused to marry that doll-cursing princess.
Hey! I said I never made cursed dolls!
Sorry. I am just glad to have met you at the monastery. I had better take my leave. We should have tea together again sometime soon.
Yeah, see you. I'm glad we met here too.
Dorothea, I want to be asking you a question.
Oh, please do.
Why have you come to Garreg Mach? Is your goal different from the rest?
Yes, I suppose. Everyone here is an heir or an heiress, but not me. I'm just a commoner.
When I enrolled in the Officers' Academy, I was different than everyone else. I wanted to secure my future, and my big idea was to marry money. Ever since, I've been dating different, terribly well-to-do men, searching for a good one. So far, there's been no reason for a second date.
Marrying money? That is not sounding like a good idea. Money would be a bad husband.
Pretty much.
But you treat me well. I have so much gratitude. Why do you show me such friendliness when I am not money?
Oh, no, Petra. This isn't like that. I like spending time with friends. It's wonderful being friends with you, and I hope we can stay close for a long time to come.
Yes, I have that hope too. But I have also been thinking of who is good for me.
Oh, I see.
And still I am thinking we should be friends.
Oh, I know why. Because we're both trouble for Imperial nobility.
Yes, we both have troubles.
Feels nice, doesn't it? Knowing that together we can irritate that many people. Since we've already got a lot in common, let's get to know each other better, shall we?
Caspar, I have been waiting.
Ferdinand. Waiting for what?
I am going to give you a lesson on the righteous path of the noble.
Righteous path? What? You have a problem with my path now? You think you're more righteous than me?
That remains to be seen. I heard you stopped a robbery in town the other day. Some despicable thief who was robbing an elderly shopkeeper. Rumor has it you didn't wreak as much havoc as usual.
Hey now, I think you're underestimating me here. When the thief showed up, the old shopkeeper was so scared that he could barely stand. I didn't want the guy to pass out, so I had to stay calm while handling the situation. Rather than fighting, I gave my own money to the thief and told him to get out of there. Or else.
How, magnanimous of you.
The thief fell for it and left the shop. That's when I chased him down. I got my money back and gave that thief a good beating. He won't be back here anytime soon.
Ah, so you walloped the scoundrel. That does sound like you. I am finding this story more plausible. Nevertheless, I think...
Hold on. Now it's your turn. I heard a very interesting story about you recently.
My turn, eh? Let's hear this story then.
The way I heard it, you punched a foreign soldier right in the middle of town.
Stop. I know what you are getting at. But you have the wrong idea.
Let's hear your version then.
I had been browsing for weapons at a rundown stall. Suddenly, a man seized the stall's owner and started dragging him away. Someone with a less generous spirit might say the peddler had it coming. His wares were quite inferior after all. But without a moment's hesitation, I leapt to his aid and soundly defeated the goon.
Well done. Sounds exciting.
It was nothing, really. Anyway, the old shopkeeper let me in on the details. He said that he was a novice trader, tricked by a noble into selling low-quality goods. That ruse was about to come to light, so the noble had sent a mercenary to keep the shopkeeper silent.
So that's what really happened. I just heard you snapped and attacked some noble servant. I figured it was worth asking about.
Well, I won't deny it. I forgot my rank for a moment and let my instincts take over.
Is there something wrong with that? It sounds a little like something I would do.
And your, gentle approach to handling that robbery. That sounds like something I might do. You were not overcome by your impulses. You kept a cool head, for the most part.
I think we're starting to rub off on each other. Always looking for a way to defend justice and to lift each other up.
Partners in justice, eh? Well now, that I can agree to.
Standing tall, I see.
Edelgard, hello. What do you think of this horse? An equine marvel, no? Look how intelligent he is. You can see it in his face. Certainly much smarter than your horse.
Oh, what a lovely bloom.
Behold, Edelgard, do you see this blood-red bloom? This is much more impressive than the pale little sprigs you have there. And as I'm sure you know, redness symbolizes courage and strength.
Ferdinand, stop. I can't believe you're wasting my time with a petty one-sided rivalry.
What are you complaining about? You told me not to publish my pamphlet, and I complied.
I've had enough of your foolish antics. Very well. I will grant you the duel you so desperately desire. But when I win, you must forfeit the right to bother me with your ridiculousness. Forever. Do we have a deal?
Ah, so you'll fight me after all? Wonderful. To battle, then! All right, Edelgard. Have at me!
As you wish. Ha!
It only took you one blow? How?
I can't afford to hold back against an opponent like you. I led with my fastest, strongest strike.
Fastest and strongest? You're just flattering me. I have been defeated. Utterly. I cannot believe I was foolish enough to challenge such a plainly superior opponent.
The difference in our skill level is not so great as all that. If you had taken the first strike, you might have won. That's why I didn't give you the chance.
I do not think talent is what separates us so much as readiness. I had not the faintest idea of what to expect from a real duel. I was playing, but you were not. That such an ill-prepared noble would think to challenge you? It is laughable.
Ferdinand...
I've passed, have I?
Easy.
Professor? Professor, a pleasure to see you. I've never been very good at praying. I was here to confess my foolishness. While I'm at it, may I confess something to you too? I realize what a burden I've been. On you, I mean. After every breakup, I neglect my work, and I know how that affects you. I'm completely worthless as a woman. Can you imagine how that feels? Oh, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. I just know it. You think so too, don't you? Really? So maybe there's still hope for me. Who am I kidding? I've known for years how hopeless I am. What's wrong with me? It's not my looks. I'm still gorgeous. Or am I? Be honest, do I look old? No, not possible. I'm the songstress who swept the Empire off its feet. Men professed their love for me hourly. It can't be my looks. You're right. Although, just fine is a bit... well, it's better to be attractive than just fine. Oh no. If the problem isn't my looks, and they are not the problem, then it must be... what? My personality? A girl can tell a lie when she hears one. You think there's a problem, don't you? I suppose I can be a bit unkempt. I do have a short temper, and I may be a little lazy, sometimes. But I've always heard fellas, you know, like a woman with a few flaws. Seems to me there are plenty of flawed girls who have landed themselves a good man. So maybe my trouble is I'm not imperfect enough. Do you think I could use a few more flaws? Why? Do you think I'm flawed enough already?
Hello.
Right.
La 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 la. Professor! Oh my, it's so good to see you. These days, so many old friends seem to be disappearing. But you're here. It's incredible to see you again after 5 years. I have a feeling your name will go down in history. Thank you, Professor. Thank you,
Boo.
A moment, please.
By making an enemy of the church, disorder is running rampant among the populace. It's quieted down over these last 5 years, though. The well-being of Her Majesty is steadily improving.
Professor? Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. What's that? Do I have brothers in the church? You really are well informed. My older twin works for the Knights of Saros, but I think he's just a grunt. Not a noble gatekeeper like yours truly. Unlike me, he's very devout. He left the Empire a long time ago.
Hey, welcome. Come again.
Hello there. Return soon, please.
Heya.
Welcome. Please come again.
Professor.
What do you require? Farewell.
Maybe.
Welcome. Come back soon.
Hey there. Come back anytime.
Professor?
Hey! Ah! At long last, we meet again. I knew you were alive. I knew you could survive. And 5 years on, you arrive. We're reunited. I'm glad I kept watch for you in the downstream villages all that time. I was so devoted to finding you that I left the Knights of Seros. Now I serve no one other than you. I'll protect you, just as I promised Captain Gerald I would all those years ago.
Professor?
I can't believe how long it's been since I left home. Since I was dragged out of the house, I mean. 5 whole years. It's weird to think about. At first, I remember I was desperate to go back, but now it's the opposite. I have friends here, and I have you. The monastery's become a second home to me. Back then, I never would have dreamed a day like this would come. It's all thanks to you. You've given me a second chance at life. If not for you, I never would have gotten used to leaving my room, let alone the monastery. Maybe the battlefield's just dulled my senses. I'm much better with strangers and new places now, though. I don't panic nearly as much as before. What? Independent? As in, alone? That sounds like a tough assignment. Where did this come from all of a sudden? Hey, hold on. You're teasing me, aren't you? Please don't joke around like that anymore. It's torture for me. You're still not taking me seriously. I mean it. Promise me you won't do that again. Friends respect each other's feelings, don't they? Good. I'll hold you to that. You're absolutely not allowed to send me out anywhere on my own. Got it? You would need to come with me. If you're with me, I can go anywhere in the world. No, that defeats the purpose. Why can't you get what I'm saying? Oh, that's enough. I need some time alone.
There were clashes with the Kingdom Army near the Western Front, but this is the first time the Alliance Army has had an honest-to-goodness fight. I hear their leader's pretty competent, but the Alliance Army is pretty tough too.
Hey there. Ah, a new face. I am Randolph von Berglies. I'm the guardian of this place. Wait a moment. I'm sure I've seen you somewhere before. Ah, yes! You're Her Majesty's professor. You're alive? Oh, this is my little sister, Fleisch. She's just a rookie, but she's helping me as my assistant.
Hello, I'm Fleisch von Berglies. It's nice to meet you. I know I'm inexperienced, but I'm gonna do my best. You can count on me to look after my big brother.
I've heard you're planning to march into Alliance territory. I'll be here to guard the fort.
No. Since the great nobles lost their standing, the regulation of the merchant houses has relaxed somewhat.
You'd probably have thought that would make it easier for us to profit. But the world isn't so simple. The war has made the price of goods unstable, causing no end of hardship for the people.
I need a favor.
What the?
Hello. The north side of the Great Bridge of Murden is in the territory of Acheron of the Alliance. He's known as the Weather Vane. He's a notoriously flippant man. A man like that doesn't have the guts to give it all for the defense of that bridge.
I've been working here for a few years now. There are plenty of others working here too. Since the acolytes and students aren't here, it's up to us to pick up the slack. Sounds fun! Let me show you my cooking talent. A little more secret spice, and... Hey! No peeking!
Ah, I can eat so much of this stuff. My stomach's growling just thinking about it.
I like seeing a table full of my favorite dishes.
Oh, I love this meal. How did you know?
This is my favorite. I am rather happy you went out of your way to pick it, Professor.
Edelgard is controlling the Empire. She is putting the pressure on the Kingdom and Alliance. Empire and religion are at open war. It will be difficult for us at first. But corrupt nobles are many. That means the common people will rebel and be joining our side. With you, Professor, the battle tides will turn. I have certainty. You have my thanks. You have my thanks.
I'm getting the hang of this.
For 5 years, I've fought for the Empire. I've cut down hordes of enemies. Now I have the same look in my eyes that the boar used to have in his. The look of a savage beast who loves nothing but destruction and violence. I can hardly hold it against him anymore. You and Edelgard must not disappoint me. Mark my words. The future you're building had better be worth all this bloodshed. All right?
each battle a victory. Not for myself, for everyone. With all of my might! Witness frigid pride!
All right, I'm ready to fight. Let's do this. Leave it to me. I can take on the whole, most of the enemy's army. I know my limits now, Professor.
Professor? Hey, Professor. It's been a really long time, hasn't it? The last 5 years have been full of heartbreak. Not from girls, but friends and family becoming enemies. One of the things that kept me going was the hope you'd return. And now here you are. A lot has changed, but you're back. And it's the first time I can remember being happy in a while.
Okay.
Within the territories of the Alliance, the Gloucester and Daphne houses dominate the West. House Gloucester has always supported the Empire. There's not much chance of them defying us. So all that needs to be done to restore peace in the West now is to crush House Daphne.
No. The last 5 years have been difficult at times. My relationship with Edelgard is rather contentious, due to the incident with my father. Nevertheless, I cannot abandon my family's duties. As Duke Eyre, I must play my part in the Imperial Army. Edelgard intends to abolish the nobility, but I know I can dissuade her from doing so.
There is still more to learn.
What's that look on your face? Surprised to see me? I'm a mercenary. Always have been. Even when I was with the Knights of Saros. I never was too attached to Fodlan. I was considering leaving soon, but I might change my mind if you're around.
Hello. Are we leaving for battle? I heard it's a long march. but it's fine. I've had plenty of time to stay inside lately, so I think it's time I run out. Yeah, I can do this. No more Bernie Bear. Oh, yeah. People call me Bernie Bear since I hole up in my den all the time. Not anymore, though.
Me? After the battle 5 years ago, the Imperial Army occupied Garreg Mach. The cathedral and several other buildings were destroyed, but we've done some repair work here and there, and we're using the buildings as a base of operations. As for me, well, the church moved its headquarters to Fargus, and I've seen no reason to follow. When I returned to Enbar, I received a summons from Her Majesty, and I chose to answer.
No.
Need something? This one? You're all set. See you again soon.
I was so surprised to hear that the faith of Saros was a sham, my eyes nearly popped out of my skull. But just because the church lied to us doesn't mean that the goddess isn't real. That's my take on it anyway. I'd feel very anxious with no one to pray to.
Who, me?
No.
Professor! Hey, Professor, something's been bothering me. Remember that suspicious guy I chased after back when I was a student? A knight scolded me for it, but at the time I really thought I was doing the right thing. Now that I've had more experience on the battlefield, though...
I've been looking for you. There isn't much time, so I'll keep this brief. The knights encountered a band of brigands while out marching. It was hard fought, but we prevailed. Our soldiers are highly trained, but the enemy was formidable, and we weren't expecting combat. There were a number of casualties among our troops. Much appreciated, but there's a reason I need to bring this to your attention. The brigands all bore identical tattoos of a scorpion on their arms. Please, keep an eye out for that mark in the future.
Oh no.
Don't mention it. If you'll excuse me, I need to get back to my duties.
Heck of a coincidence, right? As soon as I mention that suspicious guy, this happens. But some of the knights died in combat. They died because of what I did 5 years ago. This is my fault. If I'd stayed quiet and tracked the guy down like you said, we would have stopped those brigands sooner, and I wouldn't have blood on my hands. But he probably wouldn't have. Now those knights, they're not coming back. We both know it. This is all my fault.
Professor, do you know how happy I was to hear you were still alive? I'll tell you how happy. For the past 2 days, I haven't had my morning or my afternoon naps. Yes? By the way, with Professor Hanneman not around, I've occupied his room, so I am well equipped to perform research on you. Isn't that exciting?
It's normal for history to be revised in favor of those who hold the power. The documents in this library are no exception. It's perfectly possible for someone to have made edits to them. But it's my belief that no one has the power to blot out the truth entirely. I like to read the same texts over and over again. That way, I can spot some of the truths hidden between the lines.
What?
Allow me to brief you on the details of our situation. The Empire firmly controls the western portion of Fargus. However, the central and eastern regions continue to put up heavy resistance. The strongholds in these regions are Aryan Road, the fortress city, and Ferdiad, the kingdom capital. We cannot control Fargus until we have taken both of these cities. As for the Alliance, Houses Gloucester and Ordelia seem predisposed to capitulate to us. However, due to interference from Houses Regan and Goneril, we have yet to secure their cooperation. Claude obviously hopes to keep the Alliance whole through diplomacy. But because we have had to focus our efforts against the Church until now, our forces have yet to meet his. We have only recently begun to take the fight to Alliance territory. I have a request for you.
Professor, I'm sorry to have dragged you into the fight again so soon after our reunion, but you appeared at a most opportune time. I'm truly humbled by your support, my teacher. Thank you. And so I will. I'm hoping your abilities from 5 years prior are still intact. Make sure you're ready to head out, okay?
Hey there. Ah, a new face. I'm the guardian of this place. Wait a minute.
I know I'm
I've heard your...
Thank you so much.
The newly crowned king of the Holy Kingdom of Fargus, Dimitri, has declared fealty to the Church of Saros. and is raising an army in preparation for all-out war with the Empire. As leader of the Alliance, Claude maintains a facade of neutrality amidst infighting between those who support and those who oppose the Empire. Meanwhile, the Black Eagle Strike Force plans to capture Alliance territory before Edelgard takes the war to the Kingdom and the Church of Seiros. With sights set on capturing Deirdre at the center of House Regan's territory, she leads a march across the Great Bridge of Myrddin to establish a bridgehead.
We're about to commence our attack on the Great Bridge of Myrddin. But first, allow me a moment of your time. It is something that I can only ask of you. Listen well. It concerns Lady Edelgard's uncle, the Regent of the Empire, Lord Arundel. Although he is currently cooperating with Her Majesty, he maintains his own sizable military troops. It seems to me that his plans differ from our own. I assume you recall a certain group's scheming from 5 years ago? Solon and Kranya. They both served Lord Arundel. Professor, I understand how you must be feeling, considering what they did to your father. I know it must be foul to even consider cooperating with their kind. However, their power is essential for us at present. Edelgard also strongly opposed the idea at first. Our enemy is the Church of Seiros itself. It cannot be toppled with the Empire's might alone. Those working under Lord Arundel are extremely hostile toward the Church. And the enemy of our enemy is... well, I think you sufficiently understand by now. Until all of Fodlan is united, it is a necessary evil. As for how we deal with him afterward, time will tell. Regardless, Her Majesty and I wish to join our power with yours. You should know that in her heart, Her Majesty regards that group as enemies of herself and her family. They used her father, the former Emperor, as a puppet, and murdered her siblings with their vile experimentation. I believe Her Majesty may have told you some of this herself. That is why this was a very painful decision for her to make. I will do all I can to ensure her suffering is not in vain. And I hope I can count on you to do the same. As for all I have told you, please keep it in mind as we march forward. More importantly, I implore you to fight as best you can for Edelgard. From the bottom of my heart, I beg this of you.
We'll be capturing the Great Bridge of Murden, a key strategic location of the Leicester Alliance. Claude will surely be sending reinforcements, so we must prevail before they arrive.
Our opponent is Judith, the so-called hero of Daphnel. We can handle her, so long as we don't get careless.
The boy said to run if I was in danger, but I could never do that. I'll hold out until reinforcements arrive.
What's the plan?
I will prevail.
Let's clean up.
I do this for all of us.
Put me in there.
More fighting.
For the Empire!
Ready for anything. I'll cut a bloody path. A waste of time. If I live, I fight. Another gain from mortal risk.
It's win or die. All this power just to survive.
I'm awake.
Back to the fray.
What's my strategy?
Only thorns left on this rose.
All is going to plan.
You're all going down. That's a win for everyone.
I'll follow your example.
I owe you one. What a bother.
To kill is to grow stronger. A lucky break.
All for our future.
Obvious.
Let's try some.
Let's finish this.
I was just stronger.
Won't work. Obvious. Gonna need you to move.
Don't bother haunting me.
Judith! I'm so glad you're safe. Claude sent me here with reinforcements.
Why do I have to put up with orders from that false leader?
Because you're from the smallest noble house in all the Alliance, you whiner.
Enemy reinforcements. We didn't finish in time. Don't let them secure the ballista.
I will prevail. I fight for justice's name. War fuels my body and mind.
I do this for all of us.
Let's clean up.
I'll cut a bloody path. Ready for anything.
For the Empire!
Put me in there.
More fighting. Will this ever end? Feels like fighting is all there is. What's my strategy? This experience is critical.
I'm awake.
Thanks for helping.
You're all Captain Gerald's enemies, and I will avenge him here.
I am helping Claude build the future of Fodlan.
Let's think carefully.
Still here.
Won't work. We can't place the future of Fodlan in Edelgard's hands. If you're allied with the Empire, I have no choice but to fight you. I should have known this would happen.
Ignatz, damn it! Such a good kid. He died too young.
Witness frigid pride.
Appreciated.
What's the plan?
Let's finish this!
Burn until we meet again.
Stay down.
You were ready.
I think I'm improving.
Need a hand? It's life or death.
Judith, I'm sorry. I leave the rest to you.
Leone, you had such a full life ahead of you. I wish I could take your place.
There's no reason I should die in this place. It's time for me to return home.
This is it. Claude, I'm sorry. I couldn't defend the bridge. All who are able, retreat!
Don't let her escape. If we can take her out now, the Daphnal territory will be ours. That will allow us to march safely through the Alliance.
No use!
That it? That took too much effort.
I owe you one.
Thank you.
Bernie's just no good.
A flawless plan.
That's a rest. This is the cost of war. I am not well pleased. Everything I've done has led to this. All is for victory! I will see this war through. Obvious. Gonna need you to move! Burn until we meet again.
More effective. I'm getting it.
Thank you. I owe you. Thanks.
Looks like I'm done for. Claude, I'm sorry.
Bernie's just no good.
Alliance soldiers! Judith has fallen. Further conflict is futile. If you surrender, your lives will be spared. Lay down your weapons immediately. You have all fought well. With this victory, we now have a foothold in the Alliance. The Imperial Army will cross the Aramid River and push the front lines forward. The fight will continue, but do not allow that to stop you from taking pride in our hard-won victory.
Ah, this should put a stop to one of Edelgard's choice phrases. Well done, Professor. I believe it was, if only the Professor were here, we could forge ahead and change the tides of this war.
Ferdinand, it is not necessary to tell the Professor such things.
We're not the only ones benefiting. The whole Imperial Army is stronger now.
Yes, it seems the Empire finally has both of its legs to stand on. Don't you agree?
You make it sound as though I can't run the Empire on my own. Perhaps it's more apt to say that the Pegasus has recovered its home.
Judith of Daphne. What a magnificent warrior. I'm happy to have the Professor back just like old times, but I don't think I'll ever get used to this cruel exchange of lives.
When there is something you must not be conceding, you must keep fighting. The fighting has been continuing for 5 years, but now I am again witnessing the Professor's power. I hate fighting, but with the Professor here, maybe it's slightly less terrible? Oh, but everyone is working so hard! Stop it, Bernie. You can't be the only one complaining.
I'm glad to see everyone so inspired. It seems the reappearance of the Professor has done much to raise your morale.
Do you not feel the same, Hubert? Come now, be honest with yourself. Now, we must take advantage of the situation and blaze ahead. Our path is still a long way.